stream. Sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late. It looks like it's 9:02 right now, so I did get up a little bit later than usual, but welcome to the chat, Nicholas and Silver. Welcome back. Here we go. We're going to start off looking at, well, we've got two interesting stocks today, Sundial and Prog, right? Prog is doing very well. Sundial getting beaten down a little bit, actually. It happened over the course of yesterday, and in after hours, we kind of stagnated, but in pre-market, we've been moving down as well for Sundial, so it's not looking great. However, I am confident that, hopefully we'll be able to stay above this 80-cent support level that we formed twice, actually. We hit 80 cents a couple of times. On the first day of the pump, we hit it, and I will draw a little support level for us right here at 80 cents on Sundial, and you can see we actually hit it in pre-market today as well. We bounced down below it for just a couple of minutes and came up back above. So good stuff on Sundial. Hopefully we'll stay above 80 cents, use that as a support, start moving up, hopefully towards $1, but it's looking a little risky right now with the calls that are out on Sundial. If we take a peek at those, there are quite a few open interest call options expiring on Friday that institutions will definitely want to keep out of the money. So it's looking like they're trying to do just that. Now, Prog, on the other hand, Prog is doing very well. Back up above $4 at least for a couple of minutes earlier today. We're starting to use that as support. Hopefully, we'll be able to break up above 4. It's looking really good for Prog, actually. It's the exact opposite situation. Institutions tried to push us down. And if you look at the Prog options, we've got a ton of open interest calls. The 350s just got in the money yesterday, I believe, and the $4 are hopefully getting in the money today. So Prog is looking very good. Good morning, Shadow Girl. And let me be right back. Let me turn on the fan. I'll be right back. There we go. Just gets a little warm. Actually, that's the wrong camera. There we go. Just gets a little warm in here with all the lights and the screens. So Silver says, anybody see the company in Dubai making the language monitoring machine similar to the movie Demolition Man? They want to put them everywhere. Is this a possible Wall Street play? I haven't heard of that. That sounds interesting. Language monitoring machine. Dubai certainly has a lot of money, so they could do it. And Manny, good morning, Manny, and good morning, Lillian. That's my grandmother's name, Lillian, so nice. All right, Noble H, good morning, Rob. Guess we got a lot to talk about today. Yeah, Sundial's moving town. Hopefully we're going to see a bounce off 80 cents, which we already started to see, right? We already got a little bounce. Hopefully that will just continue. Hopefully we won't mess around with it anymore, although that is a bit hopeful, right? And Ambition, good morning. Lucid Dreams back on. Yeah, Lucid's been doing well. Lucid's been doing good. Back up above $50. That's crazy. Not all-time highs over the past year. We've been higher, but all-time highs for this pump up above $50. Jeez, that's awesome for Lucid. Very good stuff. Off their earnings, it looks like they had some great earnings results. Let's see. Well, they don't show the estimates right here. Or the minus 22 cents is the estimate. I guess they hit it right on the dot. But, yeah, cool stuff for Lucid. We'll definitely take a peek at that. And Relaxing Tones, how you feel about Mark stock? Well, we've covered Mark a bit. It's pretty much trading. We'll pull up DWAC and Mark here so we can look at them together because they are trading very similarly. But I'll pull up Mark. Okay, so let's look at the past 30 days for both of these stocks just so we can get a good idea of what they're doing. Mark and DWAC are trading pretty much the exact same pattern, right? The exact same trend. They both pumped up around the same time and have stagnated around the same time. Mark, on the other hand, while it's somewhat following DWAC's pattern, is slightly more bearish, right? It tends to downtrend a little bit more than DWAC. At least that's how it seems. DWAC kind of found support at 55, and Mark stock has, for some reason, partly because it's likely just, potentially just a rumor that it's going to be involved with the Trump's back. It has been falling a bit more, and their earnings just came out. Let's see. 72 cents per share. That actually seems very good for this stock price. Most of their... Wow. Yeah, so that's a pretty good earnings per share. Let's see what went on with the Mark earnings. I haven't been keeping up with Mark as closely. What is the expected price for Sundial by Friday? Oh, we've got a couple of comments. Okay. So, Jonathan Norris, new to this, been watching your videos. Help me out. Sundial, a goodbye. Well, we'll take a peek at Sundial. We'll definitely be talking about Sundial. So right now it looks like we're getting a bounce off of 80 cents. Hopefully that's going to be the case, right? You can see we bounced off of it the initial day that we pumped up. We found some support at 80 cents. Now we've moved back down. It looks like we bounced off of 80 cents again, very close to it at least. And the hope is that we won't be returning to 80 cents, that we'll start moving up. So potentially it's a good buy, but there is always the potential that institutions are going to try to hold us down below $1 because that's where all of these open interest calls are sitting at, and they want these to expire worthless by Friday. So it's possible that institutions are doing what they can, spending what money they can to keep Sundial down for the moment, and will eventually be letting it rise, but not until after Friday. It's always possible because they don't want to get gamma squeezed. There's over 200,000. There's 225,000 open interest call options on Sundial, so they're probably going to try to keep those out of the money for as long as possible. Not financial advice, but Sundial is potentially a good buy at 80 cents, right? We did get great news, great fundamental news for them, and legalization looks like it's on the way. Before that, they were trading around 70 cents before the earnings call, so they're only 13 cents more expensive per share. Not that bad. They were at highs of 99.96 cents at one point, just a couple of days ago. Granted, that was in after hours or pre-market, so we'll see if we can get back there. Hopefully, we'll just continue moving up today off this bounce off of 80. That's the hope. So the expected price Nicholas Morello says Lucid is not even close to worth $72 billion now with every major automaker going EV. Lucid is a good one, but it is getting a little frothy. It's a good trade. And it's starting to get a little frothy. I think that this might be close to a fair valuation for it if everything continues going right. But now we're getting to pretty high prices, and we'll see how much further it can get taken. Obviously, it's on a nice uptrend right here. You can see, and that tends to continue for longer than it tends to take the prices of stocks higher than what they're actually valued at. You typically then see a little bit of a dip when they're done with these massive uptrends, but while it's on the uptrend, it's making money. So, not necessarily the best valued stock, right? If you were looking for a great value to buy right now, hopefully you already got in, right? If you were looking to get into Lucid, I wouldn't want to be buying at 50, but some people certainly want to buy at 50 just to play off the momentum. So we'll see how much higher this one can go. What is the expected price for Sundial by Friday? Well, hopefully above $1. And if we do get above $1, we could be looking at a much higher price because there are so many open interest call options, 225,000. That would certainly cause a little bit of a gamma squeeze if we got up there. So it could be either much higher than $1, but institutions are going to do all they can to keep it below. So it's really going to be a hit or miss with Sundial, I think. We're either going to be kept below $1 or be much above. I would be surprised to see us sitting right at $1 on Friday. Potentially possible, but it seems unlikely. So Clove, says Noble H. When you have time, could you talk about Clove and the public offering of Class A common stock, 35 million shares? Let's take a peek at what Clove did in reaction to that. Clove, ooh, it looks like it just dumped on this news. Did they just announce this? Well, they must have. Okay, yeah, they announced it yesterday. It looks like they moved down from 757 to 685. Okay, 35 million share offering of common stock. So let's see what Clove's float is currently and how much of an impact that's going to have. It'll be interesting to see. So Clove, I do hold some Clove, so it's in a long-term portfolio, right? I'm not trading it. I just have it in a long-term portfolio. But looks like Clove currently has a float of, where is that? Well, 209 million, but shares outstanding 420 million. So it's a shame that they're changing that, but it's at 420 right now. So they'll be adding 35 million to that. So it's less than a 10% increase, but still not great to see for the price of Clove currently. However, if they're able to raise some capital, I mean, Clove is a long-term stock for me, right? I'm expecting them to do well over the long term. So I think that, if they need to do it to raise capital, this is not unexpected, right? Companies that aren't profitable yet need to make money somehow. Oftentimes they choose to do it through diluting their shares. And it's not surprising to me to see that that's what they're opting for. So, it's unfortunate that it looks like they're about to make potentially new lows for the stock. 675 now. They're still a ways off from making new lows of all time, right? Their lowest is 631. So they're around 675 right now, 691 right now. So I'm not too worried about Clove falling to all-time lows, but obviously, we were doing decently over the past couple of days. We were starting to move up. It looked like it might have been good, and maybe they wanted to capitalize on that and start selling some shares themselves. So it's unfortunate, but, they have to do it to raise money, so it's understandable. And unique experience. Okay, hold up. Joseph, no, got to put Prog on the charts. Certainly we do. Yeah, we had Prog up here, and we missed it. We got rid of it for a couple other stocks. But yeah, Prog made it back up above $4 today, and is currently sitting at $3.88, it looks like. So Prog is doing pretty good right now. Pretty good. They were up big yesterday. They're up big in after hours and pre-market. It's just been a straight line up from this bounce off of 3, basically, all the way to 4. Until they're finally seeing some resistance and starting to trend down right here over the past couple of bars. But we'll see what happens with Prog. I'm hoping that we can get back up above 4 and start squeezing out some of those institutions that have a lot of call options sold on them. So that's what I'm hoping for. And let's see. Silver says, or unique experience, best value is GGPI. GGPI, that's the Polestar merger, I believe. GGPI. Yeah, GGPI's been doing good ever since they announced that Polestar merger, but we'll see. There's a lot of EV stocks right now that are pumping. Obviously, this is a great time to be getting involved in EVs since there's so much hype around them, but we'll see what happens with GGPI. We'll see what happens with them. So, unique experience, Polestar, Volvo, GGPI, most undervalued EV play. And Toro, NAKD, Central Automotive Group EVs, Corey Davis, Raul Mazy. Hey, bud, what's your thoughts on DWAC/PHUN with all the news? Did news come out regarding DWAC? Let's see. What happened with DWAC? So, is there new news coming out that I have missed on DWAC? I thought nothing of note has happened yet, but let's see if there is anything crazy. I've not seen any news for them. I've not seen any news, at least nothing recent. But, what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for some news to come out for DWAC. I'm waiting for some positive catalysts. Either, Trump talking about it. That's really the biggest one. Maybe they announce a merger date. Maybe the beta of True Social comes out. That could be good for them. We'll see what happens. But I think that, any of the possible catalysts that we're looking at are probably positive in the future. I don't think there would be too many negative catalysts on DWAC. So I'm hopeful that something will happen with them. I'm looking for some news, but we'll see what happens. So, Prog, we are in prime position. Yeah, we certainly are. Very close to $4, ready to explode. Ready to explode today. Really hoping that's what we do. And Silver says, I find it interesting that shorting patterns make stocks have big drops, but buying shares feels like small steps. Pessimism is creeping in the markets. Yeah, I mean... buying, I guess it does seem like a small step. There's always a lot of people willing to take profit because you're holding the shares of the stock, and you might want to take profit if it moves up a couple of cents, a couple of dollars, depending on the share price. But when you're shorting, people might not want to buy very many shares of a company that they already hold a bunch of shares of, right? If stock drops by 10%, are people really buying all that many more shares of it? Maybe they are. Some are. But yeah, it's definitely easier to crash a stock than to make it run up. That's for sure. And Relaxing Tones says, blow that like button for Rob. I would appreciate that. We've got 63 viewers right now, 17 likes. Let's see, maybe we can even get half the people in the stream to like the video. Maybe we can get 30 likes on this video. That would be much appreciated if we could do it. And Constantine Thomas says, good morning, bro. Cheers to a good day. I hope it's a good day. I hope it's a good day for Sundial. It's looking like a great day for Prog. Up big on Prog today. And hi, Rob. Can Prog squeeze like AMC with all its fundamentals, says Mohammed Sadiq. So we'll take a peek. Let me pull up the Ortex. Let me pull up some of the stuff we got going for Prog. So Ortex right here. And we'll type in PROG. Been typing that in a lot lately. And we'll also take a peek at the options for Prog. So this is Sundial options, but Prog options right here. 34,000, or well, I should say this first, 32,000 open interest calls now in the money at 350. And if we can get up above 4 today, 34,000 more open interest calls, maybe even 450, $5. We'll see what we can do. But we could certainly get a little bit of a gamma squeeze going. We're getting very close to Friday. We've only got a couple of days left for those institutions to start buying back shares, covering. And we've got rather high short interest on Prog, 27%. It looks like shorts are actually covering just a slight amount today. Short interest change is down 0.09%. So shorts are starting to get a little bit worried. You can see that shorts have slowly been exiting their positions ever since we got close to this $4 level. It's trended down from around 38% of the free float. Now we're at 27.6%. So shorts have been slowly exiting, trying to whittle down their positions without pumping up the stock too much. So it's looking good for Prog. Shorts are scared. And waiting for innocent verdict. I know there is some trial going on. I haven't kept up with it. And Shiny Man, DWA has formed a strong base, about $60. Just need a catalyst to spike huge. I don't think Pres Trump is allowed to speak about it in case he's reinstated as president. I believe campaign or finance laws. Oh, okay, yeah, that might be the case. And unique experience. Do you think a big drop in crypto is because of Tesla or AMC? Whoa, big drop in crypto. I have not been keeping up with that. Did that happen just today? Oh, wow, yeah, it did. Jeez, crypto is moving down. Let's take a peek. Let's take a peek at the coin market caps right here. Bitcoin down 7%, Ethereum down 8%, Binance down 8%, Solana down 7.5%, Polkadot, haven't really kept up with this one, but down 11%, Shiba Inu down 5%, Doge down 7%. It's not a good day for crypto. That's unfortunate for any crypto holders, but we've had such a great past 3 months. We're still up huge on money if you bought at pretty much any time other than the past 30 days or so. The past year or two, you're up on big money. We're still near all-time highs at $60,000 per Bitcoin. So while it is a little bit of a dip, I'm not willing to call this a crash. It is actually somewhat significant, right? Down 7%, down $4,500 over the past 24 hours per Bitcoin. It's somewhat significant, I'm not going to lie. But we have seen similar things before. Like right over here on 9/7, we were trading at $52,700, and then we moved down in the same day, 9/7 also, to 46,000. So we've seen similar price dips in cryptos. I'm not too worried that this is going to be a massive crash. It certainly is possible, though. Looking at the long-term chart, the fact that we have reached near all-time highs again, this would be the perfect place from a technical perspective to get bounced off of. It would make a lot of sense, just from a long-term trend perspective, that you'd bounce off of the all-time highs. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And does anyone know when DWAC is going to merge, True Social, or whatever the procedure is? No, I'm not sure yet. We're still waiting to hear. When that's happening. So Silver says, folks worried about capital gains taxes increasing, maybe why Elon is selling out now before those tax rates go higher for all of us. Oh, that could be, yeah. I mean, potentially people are worried about the capital gains tax price or tax rates getting raised. That could be. Yeah, and oftentimes people end up selling losers during the end of the year, right? They end up selling their losses during the end of the year because they want to factor that into how much money they've made over the course of the year. So if they have a big loser and they've lost, like, let's say they've made $1 million selling stocks, and they have some plays that are down 500K, they'd likely sell those plays to lock in the loss. And then that takes off 500K that they have to pay in taxes, right? So that's what people end up doing a decent amount of the time for some stocks. So what have we got? Good morning, Joey. And Acorn hold typical merger rollover is 30 days from filing. Trump filed October 28th, so that's just after Turkey Week, says Silver. And Shiny Man asks for the Ortex on DWAC. That's what he's asking about. All right, we'll look at the Ortex on DWAC. It's interesting. I don't think I've made a video about it, but I'll pull it up here in the live streams. You guys are getting exclusive content right here in the live stream. So DWAC, 11% short interest as a percentage of the free float, 3.6 million shares, and I believe they only have 36.9 million shares or something like that, shares outstanding. So yeah, that adds up. And then short interest is up 1.84% today. So 99.99% utilization. Pretty much this thing is as shorted as possible. People are shorting it to the max. DWAC, I'm surprised it hasn't gotten pushed down more, but obviously there are a lot of shorts and they can only do so much against us, right? If we really just keep holding this thing and buying more shares, if people keep buying more, they really can't do all that much to keep us down. So that's good to see, because they've already maxed out, it looks like, what they can short. And once again, looking at the utilization of 99.99% right here, that they have done all they can, really. And that's likely why we've stagnated now and are just waiting for a big catalyst to pop us off and start squeezing some of them. So you're welcome, Shiny. And Eric Shaw says, might buy this BBIG and AQST tip. Let's take a peek at BBIG while we wait for the market to open. Yeah, it is dipping down fairly low. I mean, if you want those Tide shares, then this is certainly looking like a good price to be buying BBIG at. So that's not bad, not bad. Yeah, potentially good price. And what was the other one? AQST. We're waiting on FDA approval, I believe, for that one. But we have slowly but surely been moving up. We just made highs yesterday of $6.38 on AQST. I don't know if it's much of a dip that we're on, but we'll see. So, Portage Diver. Do you think this pump on Sundial is just another fake pump like the last few? I don't think it's another fake pump. I think that, the fundamentals of the company really have changed. And if you look at the past 180 days, you can see all the fake pumps ended somewhat quickly, right? I guess you could kind of say we have gotten shot down a bit. We're not necessarily near the highs of where we pumped up, but if we can find some support at 80 cents and at least stay there, not drop too far below, then I'm somewhat confident that we can continue moving up. Now, another reason why I don't think this is a fake pump is if you look at a lot of the other cannabis stocks, if you look at a lot of the other ones over the past, let's say, 1 year, we'll take a peek at the 1 year on a lot of these cannabis companies. It looks like a lot of them are starting new uptrends. Now, obviously, all of these could get shot down, but it certainly looks like this is the best shot at an uptrend that we've had in TLRY, that we've had in Aurora, and that we've had in Sundial in a while. So I don't necessarily think this is a fake one. Maybe it's a fake out. Maybe they're all going to crash. Maybe the shorts are going to take over, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I hope not, at least. I mean, it's possible. And, if that does end up happening, then I suppose I'll just bide my time and wait for legalization to pump these things. But we'll see. So, Chuck Gaetano, hey Rob, remember talking about VR Oculus? OVTZ, well, Goldmine, Facebook Meta now owns OVTZ. The future is VR, buy now, says Chuck. True story. So, let's take a peek at that. We'll see what that's all about. OVTZ. Oculus Vision Tech. Interesting. Is that the case? I always thought that Facebook owned Oculus. Is Oculus a separate company? I always thought it was the fact that Facebook owned Oculus. Does Facebook own Oculus? Let's see. So, okay, launched in 2012. So, yeah, actually, July 4th, it looks like Oculus was bought by data-hungry tech giant Facebook for $2 billion in 2014. Okay, so in 2014, they bought Oculus. So what is Oculus Vision Tech? Let's see what this stock's all about. I'm curious what this stock is, if it's a direct affiliation with Oculus or if it's just a similar name. It might be. They do own. Yeah, says Chuck. Let's see. OVTZ. That's an interesting one. So, $65 million market cap. Oculus Vision Tech operates as a development stage company. It engages in the design and market of digital marketing technologies to business customers. Okay, the firm's products include digital watermarking document protection technology. It offers legal DPS, cyber DPS, photo DPS, hybrid DPS, MS cyber DPS, and P2 biometrics. So, it looks like it's not making the Oculus headsets, but it's certainly doing something. And Joseph Agnello coming in clutch with a super chat, and it looks like, is that a lemon or a Pokemon? I can't tell. It looks like a lemon's dancing over there. I appreciate that, Joseph. And they do own Big Bro. Okay, Chuck. Well, This could be a good one, right? It's a low market cap, 65 million. Did Facebook just announce that they were buying it? Is that the news? Let me see what the news on this one is. So, nothing announced on TD's news site. Let's see. OVTZ stock. Not hearing too much news. Not seeing much on Google, at least. So, yeah. All right. Well, it's an interesting one, right? The fact that they have Oculus in the name is interesting. I don't know. I would have thought that would be watermarked or something, or copyrighted, something like that. And Silver says, "Oh, Chuck says no news. Just again, I got you. Yeah, if Facebook's involved in this, it could be good." So Silver says, "Nothing like unplugging from the Matrix. Good run or chilling by a bonfire." Yeah, for sure. And Zach Taylor says, "Silver and gold dropping on strong retail sales numbers, but the reality is people are buying gifts early because they're starting to realize what's coming." Is gold dropping? I thought at last I checked it was, oh, geez. I must have checked a little too soon. I did check around, before 8. I looked around 7 and it was up, and now it's down. Darn. Oh, man. Yeah, it is dropping. So let's take a peek at the retail sales. If those just came out, I'll pull that up. We'll get some economic data in here. So let's clear out that. Just look at U.S. data. And let's see what news has come out today. Let's filter this by what's important. So let's see. What came out today? Retail sales numbers, month over month. All right. So retail sales, we were forecast to get 1% increase, and we actually got a 1.7% increase. So yeah, that is stronger than expected, pretty decently. And it does not surprise me, that people are buying goods. I would have thought, that this would potentially even mean, if people are spending their money even more, that gold prices might move up. The more sales, I would assume, well, who knows what impact that would have on the dollar, but I would think that would actually be negative for the dollar if more dollars are being spent. So I'd have thought maybe more people are buying gold too. So core retail sales month over month, let's see what that says. That's the same thing. That's what we just looked at. All right. And at 9:15, what did we get? Industrial production month over month. Industrial production was up as well. Measures the change in the total inflated adjusted value of output produced by manufacturers' mines. Okay, so industrial production is up. We were forecasting 0.7%. We got 1.6%. Not bad. Largest increase we've had in quite a while, actually, since January of 2021. So since January, this is the largest increase we've had in industrial production. So not bad. Not bad there. Markets are likely going to be moving up, is my guess. Let's see what QQQ is doing. No, markets are moving down a little bit, actually, on this news. For some reason, markets are moving down alongside gold ever since this came out. So strange to see that. But we are about to get, looks like the first bar, Sundial, moving a little down. We got to pull back up PROG right here. And PROG, getting very close to $4. We're going to see if we can't break it. I'm hoping we can break it. Sundial, unfortunately, it looks like we're breaking through 81 cents. Maybe we'll get a bounce off of it. Who knows? We'll pull up DWAC as well just to see what's going on with it. But let's see, DWAC moving up a little bit. All right, that's nice. PROG getting shut down. Sundial getting shut down. Not loving this. Not loving the fact that these are both moving a little bit down. So guess who says might load up on PROG and AQST here? Maybe. That might be a good idea. Might be. And Silver says gas prices killing costs of miners. Lack of workers has production lower than the norm. Yep. Gas prices, I've noticed. I just filled up my tank. It was like $38 to fill up my tank. Usually it's 20-something. So gas prices are certainly going up. Sundial and PROG both suffering at the open. Let's see. What are the markets doing? Let's pull up QQQ right here. Markets having a wishy-washy open, right? A red bar. Now we're looking at a green bar, but we'll see. TLRY down 3.42% on the day. It looks like it's following suit with Sundial. Sundial, we're going to see if 80 cents can't save us. Let's move this exactly onto 80 cents right there. And hopefully we will get stopped out at 80 cents, start a reversal. But both Sundial and PROG are suffering the first couple bars of open. That's really not what we want to see. Let's see what cryptos are doing. Not that the market's just open for cryptos, but cryptos are relatively the same. If you look at Bitcoin, it's still trading at $60,652. So not much has changed with the cryptos. Now let's see the Google Trends data and if there's any other pumping stocks. I'm curious. Oh, Sundial just moved right through 80 cents. Prog, on the other hand, Prog might be reversing. Prog may be reversing. All right, looks like Prog might be overtaking Sundial. So I'm going to run a little comparison here on Google Trends and see which one is getting more search volume. So let's see, over the past 7 days, it looks like this actually isn't surprising considering what we're seeing with the prices. It looks like Sundial typically trends far above Prog, but Prog has recently overtaken Sundial in searches on Google. So more people are now looking at Prog than Sundial. So Sundial was up huge when it was initially pumping, and on Google Trends, Sundial is the red line, Prog is the blue line. You guys can see that Prog is starting to just now, for the first time, overtake Sundial trend-wise. So not too surprising, actually, to see that there is more buying pressure for it. If more people are starting to look into it now that it's getting close to $4, doesn't surprise me that a lot of people want to get in on it. Hopefully get in on that gamma squeeze. We'll see if we can make it happen by Friday. And what's going on with Rivian? Rivian is up another 7% on the day. We'll pull this up here. Rivian's been killing it over the past, ever since IPO at 95. It's been a great buy, up to 166. And volatility says maybe people are selling Sundial for Prog. I'm sure some people are. Prog up over $4. That's incredible. That's what we're looking for. Sundial struggling to get back up above 80. We'll see. Prog is just moving straight up. That's great. Up 16% on the day. Nice. Up 17% to 408. Let's ride this rocket ship, guys. This is going well. This is going very well for PROG stock right here in the top right. Sundial, we've got a couple of green bars, hopefully getting back up above 80 cents. We're getting close. We're getting close on Sundial. We finally got some buying pressure. TLRY, though. TLRY, there is no saving. TLRY is moving down, and this is the biggest green bar we've ever seen on Prog. This is incredible stuff. Right here from 393, it took us all the way from 393 to 415. So that's what, a 22-cent increase in that bar? That's awesome. That's awesome. Now we're seeing a little bit of red. Obviously, there's going to be a couple of people looking to sell after a big green bar like that, but things are looking good. Things are looking very good. And let's see. We've got 111 viewers right now. Maybe we could pump this up likewise to 75 likes. Let's try for 75 likes. Let's see if we can do that. We've got 106 viewers currently, and we could potentially get 75 likes. We only need about 26 more likes to boost this thing up. So let's see if we can do it. That would be nice. That would be nice if we could boost this thing up. We've got the likes. They're rising. They're at 55. They're at 55 now. We're hopefully going to get some more. Up to 75. We'll see if the viewers of this video are kind or if they're holding back their likes. They don't want to like the video. They just all right, we've got 60 likes. We're on the way. We're on the way. I'm confident that we are. Also with Sundial, it looks like we might start using 80 cents as a resistance, which I really hope we don't. Unfortunately, it looks like we did make lows of day at 78.2. We even beat out the lows on that big green wick right here of the pre-market. We beat out the lows of the pre-market. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And Silver says, I'm all liked, subscribed, and belled up. I appreciate that. And Joseph Agnello says, Gamma, yeah, let's see. Obviously, institutions have some time, right? They have until Friday to try to get this thing below $4, and depends on how risky they want to be. They could wait. And let's take a peek at the Prog options now. They could wait and, hope that Prog will drop below $4, that it'll drop below $3.50 by Friday, and that they never end up having to buy those shares. But they could certainly get themselves in a pickle if they don't end up buying any shares, if they're just betting on Prog moving down, and say if it even moves up more, if it goes past $4.50 or $5 and even more call options are in the money, that could be very bad. And that could cause, well, let's take a peek at the Prog Ortex data real quick. I forget what it was, 27%, I think. 27.56. So that would certainly be bad for the shorts. If you look where a lot of the shorts were entering, a lot of them were entering around between $2 and $3. A lot of these shorts ended up getting in around there. So, the fact that so many shorts are in around $2 or $3, $4 to $5, that boost is going to be very painful for them. Prog up 22% on the day. This is good stuff. So, what about today's highest price Sundial? Says Shazad Warich. Today's highest price on Sundial. Well, what we saw earlier was 85 cents for today, right? I'm hoping that Sundial can just get back up above 80, start using that as support, and we'll see where we can move from there, right? Prog right now looking very promising, though, I will say. Up at 416, up 19% on the day. Good stuff, up 20% now on this bar. We'll see how much Prog can keep running. If you look over the past couple of days, it's basically just been a straight line and incredibly, well, now it's actually turning into more of a curve, right? It's almost exponential how this thing is going up. So good stuff with Prog. It's certainly doing well. And from the lows of around 288, I think, maybe 287 is the low. We are up 47%. So anyone buying down there, congratulations to anyone who was buying that dip. That's awesome. Some people surely got in on it. But Prog up, I almost said Frog, up at 422. It just moved right past 420. That's good to see. And Silver says, any thoughts on strategy of sitting on cash and waiting for a big drop in markets? I guess it would matter on where one is at, or on where one is at in life. Yeah. I don't like sitting on that much cash. Maybe you have some on the sidelines. I have some on the sidelines, but I tend to prefer my cash to be invested, right? Because I think that, over the long term, the stocks are certainly going to be worth more. I think that some studies have been done that says, I think 60% of the time you're better off, something like, maybe it's 60, maybe it's 70% of the time you're better off just instead of even averaging into the markets, just whenever you want to buy a stock, you just throw the money in right then that day, and you end up better off 70% of the time. And especially looking at how the markets have been going, I'll pull it up over Rivian right here. The SPY over the past, we'll look at the past year. It's just straight up. We'll look at the past 2 years. We got that little COVID dip before the Fed stepped in, and then we'll look at the max. And it certainly looks like there aren't that many big dips. I mean, COVID was the biggest dip that we had. And, this is over decades. So if you want to miss out on decades worth of gains, and it's maybe you'll find a dip and you'll save 20% on the markets, but you could even save more than that. You could save maybe 50% if we have a huge recession, but will the Fed ever let it happen, or will they just start printing more money? I think that's what they figured out with COVID. They can just turn on the printers, turn them on overtime, and that gets us out of any recession situation real quick. So we'll see. I mean, I just think that cash is trash, I think. I think the value of the dollar going down the toilet. And nice. Sundial is back up over 80 cents. Exactly what we were hoping for. Prog is soaring, up 26% today. Crazy stuff on Prog. Really incredible to see this. Maybe we can even get up over... whoops, that's the SPY, so Prog. Maybe we can get up over the 450, get some of these open interest calls in the money right here. I know we're all happy about Prog going up, but 24,000 open interest calls are ready. They're just waiting to get in the money when Prog gets over 450. All right, this is very good stuff. I think the writing on the wall is becoming more and more clear. Let's see what the shorts are doing. The shorts are actually covering a little bit more now. They're covering a little bit more. So short interest down 0.23%. When we last looked, it was down 0.09%. So shorts are starting to cover a little bit more. They're starting to get even more scared than they were. They see Prog soaring up. We'll pull back up to this chart. So we've had very few red bars, only 3 red bars the entire day. And this is one of them. It's taking us down a little bit, taking us down a peg. We'll see what happens. And Joseph Ignolo just sold Prog. You're causing this red bar, Joseph. But not a bad sell. I mean, honestly, you've probably made quite a bit on Prog. So great sell on that one. I mean, we'll see how much higher it can run. But it looks like you picked the top. You must have said that a minute ago, right before this red bar kicked in. And Noble's happy about Prog. Yeah, Constantine Tomas, I got calls in Sundial to learn for the 19th at 88 cents. I have no clue how this works. How do I calculate what profits would be if it hits $1? So, Constantine, you mean you got calls? Did you buy? Which calls did you buy? Which strike price did you buy on Sundial? We've got a couple right here. I'll pull up the Sundial calls. But yeah, I'm curious. Which calls did you buy? The 50 cents? If they're for the 19th of November... then what do you mean you paid 88 cents for them? I'm curious. Yeah, give me some more info on that. Give me some more info. I'm curious what calls you were talking about right there. the like what's the strike price and how much did you pay in premium and all that. Yeah, that would be nice to know. That would be helpful. Because right now I don't know how to calculate based off the information you've given. So I'm assuming you bought them at 88 cents, and you obviously paid a certain amount for the calls. So SPY just shooting up, actually. Jeez, I wasn't even paying attention to the SPY. It is just green on the S&P. Let's see what QQQ is up to. QQQ as well. QQQ as well, doing very good. Very good. What's SQQQ at? 627. It's down a bit. And sold half my prog at 440, says Grim Reaper. Not a bad sell at all. Very nice, near the top. Awesome sell. We'll see. We'll see by the end of the day how that sell's looking, right? Up 24%. Can't complain about it. So, certainly a good sell on that. Why you just buy calls when you don't even know how it works? Says Ramen Burrows. You know, tough to blame. The calls look very promising. It's a lot safer to buy the stock, but it sounds like he was buying the calls to learn about how it works. But I do want to know a little bit more about what the strike price and all that was if I'm going to calculate anything. So options are slaughterhouses, says Silver. Oftentimes they are, especially near-term expiration options. They can be very, very volatile and oftentimes very volatile to the downside. So I do try to stay away from near-term call or near-term options expirations, right? I try to stay away from those. I haven't gotten involved in those in a long time unless I'm selling them, right? Sometimes you can make a bit selling them. Okay. Well, Prog is starting to simmer down. It's starting to cool off a little bit, moving down to 420. It looks like some people are starting to take profits, but this was an incredible run-up that we saw in the right after market open. So now we're starting to get a couple more red bars. We're going to see where this can take us. Maybe we'll get a little bounce off of 4. Maybe we'll get a bounce off 415. We'll have to see where Prog starts moving back up again. Sundial, 500 shares and 4 calls, 150 strike, expiring late April 22, says Gordo. Nice. Nice. And Sundial filling the gap, says Broadbill Hunter. Ooh, let's take a peek at that 1 year, 1 day. Yeah, it is starting to fill the gap. You know, it certainly is starting to fill the gap. That's unfortunate, what we're seeing there. Don't like the look of that. We'll see how much of the gap it fills. Hopefully not too much. Hopefully not too much, though. But we'll see. We'll see. And Ramen Pro says Uber pushing higher. We'll take a peek at Uber. We'll pull it up over TLRY, which isn't doing too much. TLRY's not doing all that much, so Uber. Okay. Uber, yeah, Uber's up 4.57%. It looks like they got a boost in pre-market on some significant volume. That's interesting. So yeah, Uber's doing good. Let me... Ramen Pros, relax. Sundial 75 could be support. Can Sundial cross $2 in the next few weeks, says Shazad Warich. Well, it certainly could. It certainly could if we got the right catalysts going for us. But we're going to need an initial pump up. I think we need to get above $1 before we start thinking about $2. That's what we really want. And ideally, we would get above $1 relatively soon because we have, on Friday, 225,000 open interest call options that are going to expire if we don't get above $1 on Sundial. So hopefully we're getting above there pretty soon. So what I was going to do, actually, I'm going to put the charts back up for a second. It looks like we are getting a bounce off 415 on Prog from the look of it. And I was going to put in a poll. And I'm curious, between Prog and Sundial, I'm going to ask in the poll what you guys are most bullish on today, and we'll see. Even though Sundial's down, it might get some love in the poll. And what other stocks were we looking at? What else is moving big today? So it looks like Lucid is up and Rivian is up as well. So let's do Lucid. And then what's that other one that's on StockTwits? GG something, GGIV or something like that. Let me pull up the StockTwits. It's the one that's merging with Polestar. GGPI, that's the one. There we go. Here we go. So let's see what you guys are most bullish on at the moment. So, Shazad Warich, can I hold for long term? Well, it's not financial advice that I'm given, but you could hold for the long term. I'm holding for the long term on Sundial. I've got a trade on it and a long term position on Sundial, so I'm holding for the long term. I think that after their most recent earnings call, they're certainly doing very well, and I expect that will continue. So I'm not too worried about Sundial moving down over the near term. I'm pretty bullish on it. So let's see, which are you most bullish on today? We've got Sundial in at 56%, 31% say Prog, 14% say Lucid. We've only got 21 votes in the poll so far. Make sure to go and vote in the poll to let me know which stock you're most bullish on. And while you're at it, why not hit that like button? We're very close to 100 likes. Only 17 more likes necessary to get to 100. So we are really very close. You could be one of the 17 people to do it, to get us there. We'll see. We'll see if anyone's willing to do it. But we're at 83 likes right now. Maybe 100 is not in the cards today. I think it is. We're at 86. We're already climbing. So make sure to go vote in that poll and like the stream. I appreciate it, guys. 88 likes. We're already well on our way. Only 12 more likes necessary. So Sundial on this poll. Which are you most bullish on today? 62% are saying Sundial. 21% say Prog. 12% say Lucid. 6% say GGPI. Now, what could be interesting with Prog is if we do end up getting a massive run-up today, some people might be looking to take out some profits and start putting them into Sundial as another potential gamma squeeze play, right? Because they also have very many open interest call options expiring on Friday. People might want to hedge their bets, spread their money out, because Sundial actually looks like it's making a nice V shape, or really a W shape right here. Nice W shape recovery. Very brief W it was, but we'll see. We'll see. We're making highs of the day, at least highs of the actual trading hours. Not highs of the pre-market yet, but Sundial is back on its way. And Joseph Agnello, Rob, you have a lot of Sundial fans. I certainly do. I certainly do. Well, that is the name of the stream today. Sundial stock push down and Prog stock explosion. So we'll see. We're at 97 likes. We only need 3 more likes, 2 more likes. We're at 98 likes. 2 more likes gets us to 100. Let's see if we can do it. Who wants to be the last 2 people to like the stream? We'll see if anyone cares enough to do it. But Sundial, it must have heard that the poll was going on, and it's trying to show up. It's trying to show up. It's up quite a bit, actually. It's up from lows of 79 cents all the way to 82. We're hitting up 83 cents. We're only down 0.1% on the day at this point. We were down originally 3.5%, so we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. If we can't blast through 83, things are looking very good for Sundial, very green at the moment. We're now at 110 likes, so thank you guys very much for that. And Broadbill Hunter says Sundial green soon. Idris Mete says Sundial on the move. Lilane Gaboda says 103 likes. Well, now we're at 111. Better recount. And Broadbill Hunter says woohoo. Yep. And Gordo says not sure whether I want to buy shares or long-term call options. See, the thing is, Sundial is very cheap. It's a very cheap stock. So when you look at the call options, I'm going to take a peek at these. Say you were buying the January 24 call options, what are you going to buy, the dollars for 40 cents? That's half the price of the stock. You're almost better off just buying the stock and having half the gains, but none of the risk that Sundial is below $1. I mean, I think it would be very difficult to find it below $1. But the thing about these call options is they break even at $1.41 if that's where you're buying them. And, if you buy a cheaper one, like these 25 to 28 cent call options at $3, well, you're paying like a quarter of the stock price, if not more, about a quarter or a third of the stock price to buy the long-term call options. And so really, you're only getting 3 times leverage what you could if you were just buying the shares. But this doesn't become profitable. It doesn't even break even until $3.25. So I certainly like the shares regarding Sundial. I mean, it makes sense sometimes in this kind of situation. Like, if you really want to make a gamble, on Sundial call options, then it makes sense almost to get in on the November 19th $1 call options, because they're trading for 1 or 2 cents. And so you're getting like 80 times leverage if we ended up moving above $1, right? Then you could be making some serious money. If we ended up by Friday pumping up, 10 or 20%, you could be making some real money with these call options. You could 10, 20x your money. If we moved up to $1.50, you could 50x your money. So you could certainly make a ton of money, but it is a very short-term gamble. The long-term call options on Sundial, though, look fairly expensive just in comparison to the stock price because Sundial is so cheap. Sundial is so cheap. So, I don't know. I'm not too big of a fan of the long-term call options on Sundial. They do provide the opportunity potentially to buy up Sundial shares and then protect your downside by selling call options against Sundial. You could do it that way. You could sell some long-term call options and make some premium. And then if you think Sundial's only going to by 2023, if you think it's only going to $5, you get a 14-cent premium just to hold Sundial and sell it at $5 or more if we're there by in about a year from now. So if you think Sundial's going to $5 in a year, then you could potentially make some extra premium that way. But Shahzad Warij says, can you explain something about Zometica? We'll take a peek at ZOM. Looks like both Sundial, though, and briefly I will say both Sundial and Prog have stagnated a little bit. We'll see what Sundial does. It did actually just make highs today, this bar, so maybe it's not stagnated quite yet. But Zometica, definitely a hot stock on Robinhood. A lot of people talk about this one. Let's see what they're doing on trends. I haven't looked at them trend-wise, so are they pumping as of late? Let's see. Okay, so not a very well-known stock. What's the market cap on this? It's been a while since I've looked at Zometica. I think I may have owned some shares at one point, but I don't remember exactly. So Zometica Corp. Let's see. $500 million market cap. Not bad. Not bad. And Zometica Corp operates as a veterinary health company which engages in the discovery, development, and commercialization of pharmaceuticals for the companion pet. Okay, so it's helping pets out. I remember we talked about this at one point. Now, what I would worry about with Zometica is how much of a market is there really for companion pet help? I know that a lot of people have dogs, but how many of them are really spending a lot of money on their veterinary needs? I mean, right now it's kind of commonplace. Every now and then when a dog gets very sick, it's unfortunate, but sometimes the dog just gets put down. Same with cats. So it is unfortunate that happens, but oftentimes people, just don't have the budgets to spend large amounts of money on pets. And that's what I would worry about with Zometica over the long term. If we're really looking at how large can they grow, obviously they have been shrinking as of late. If you look over the past couple of months, they were at highs of 291. They've been moving down a little bit. However, over the past year, they've about 5x. They were at 10 cents about a year ago. So there certainly is hope with Zometica, right? Over the past 2 years, it looks like they have these big downtrends and then a big spike up in price every now and then before continuing a little bit of a downtrend. So we'll see what happens with Zometica. It is actually finding some support at 50 cents right here, it looks like. So 50 cents could be a potential good buying place, actually, if you want to take a little trade on it. Maybe if it goes, say, below 45 cents, you get out. You take 10% risk on it and hope that there's a big spike. We just recently saw one actually up to 79, almost 80 cents that we hit there. So maybe a decent trade, but I obviously haven't looked too deeply into Zometica myself, but if you're looking at it over the long term, I would worry a little bit. I would worry a little bit about the fundamentals and how big their market cap or how big their potential market is, how many people are actually going to really be using their services. That's what I would worry about. So, Matt Handbag, so how can Prog blow up 20% and then stop? Well, it can blow up 20% and then stop because institutions do not have to actually hand out the shares until Friday, right? They don't actually, or until people exercise their call options, which is likely to happen, on the last day on Friday, because there's still some time value left in them, some volatility value left in them. And also above $4, people are maybe a little bit more heavy-handedly selling Prog, right? Some people might be selling Prog. You see $4, we're hitting around where we pumped up to last time. We hit around 430, 440 maybe, and that's where we're at right now. So we're seeing a little bit of resistance, but we could certainly continue this. And the hope is that we will continue this and get back up above more strike prices on Prog, putting even more open interest call options in the money. And institutions are certainly panicking about this, I think. So what else? So Tyler Mike, do you realize that all was forecasted for all of 22 for Sundial was accomplished in Q3 of 2021 for Sundial? Yeah. That is good stuff, Tyler Mike. I appreciate that. BITF moving big, says Saucy Fredo. BITF and Sundial moving big as well, up 0.7% on the day. Let me change the name of this. To Sundial stock can't be held down. How about that? All right. And what was I about to look at? BITF, Saucy Fredo. I will take a peek at that. BITF. Bitfarms Ltd. Certainly sounds like a crypto miner. That certainly seems to be what this would be just off the name. We'll see though. Let me pull it up on MarketWatch and see what MarketWatch has to say about BITF. Bitfarms. So you guys have all heard of BitConnect, right? You guys all heard that meme. It's a fun one. I'm not sure if I can show it or whatever. Unfortunately, I'll have to look into it. But yeah, I'll maybe do a little review of the BitConnect show one of these live streams. I'll pull it up. It's interesting. I'm worried though on YouTube. I don't know. So yeah, Bitfarms has mined 1,357 Bitcoin in the first half of 2021. So that's what they're all about. $1.45 billion market cap. But yeah, no, I'm not sure about like YouTube copyright rules and whatnot. What I can and can't show on the streams or in the videos, because there's certainly stuff I would like to show. I'm just not sure what's considered fair use and all that. I'll have to ask an expert. Because there's some fun stuff that we could be watching. Every now and then there's some really fun stuff. So, let's see. So Matt Handbag. So you're welcome, man. And Idris Mete, Sundial, is looking up. Yeah, it certainly is. And Gordo, me watching my huge red number become a slightly smaller red number. It's a party. Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah, no, I'm happy with the way Sundial's performing today. It's looking like we're getting another nice bounce off of 80 cents. Really good stuff. The fact that we can't really maintain hold below 80 cents is good to see. And I am excited for that. So I'm hoping that Sundial continues this run-up that we're on today. Hopefully we will stay green on the day. It looks like we're green above 83 cents, pretty much. And Silver says, I'd forecast low expectations too, punished harder for big misses. Yeah. And Noble says, Prog back up to 440. It is up to 443 now. We're going to see if we can't make highs of day. 444 is all we need. 445 actually to make highs of day. We've matched the highs right now. Let's see if we can't hit 445. There we go. Highs of day. And Raman Perose says, if Sundial keeps climbing now, it's completed a beautiful ABC Elliott wave consolidation. If you know, you know. I tend to not keep track of too many of those patterns, but I'll take your word for it, man. I'll take your word for it. So, Joseph Agnello, what happened to ANY? ANY. Sphere 3D down 15%. What the heck happened to Sphere 3D? Looks like a bad earnings call. So, lost 7 cents, which is up over their last earnings call from 17-cent loss. So, not as bad as what they did last quarter, but sales $1 million up from 890,000. So maybe people were just factoring in the expectations for a better earnings call. I don't know why they're dropping on this news. Prog up to 465. It is absolutely exploding. Good stuff with Prog. Prog should be over $13 week high as well, or over 13-week high as well. $13 week sounds expensive. So is Sundial likely to be delisted? I just saw a comment asking that. Says Lillian Gaboda. I don't think Sundial is going to be delisted. I think we can get above $1 before then, and I think we have a bit of time. I forget exactly when. It might be sometime in January. Let me see. I think they have until January. A lot of places are saying November 22nd. We'll see if that's actually the case. So Forbes right here. Let's see what Forbes is saying about it. And of course, they have a really big pop-up ad just destroying the site, but they sure got a lot of pop-up ads on Forbes. But let's pull this up. So, by November 22nd, okay, so it looks like Forbes has it right here, that Sundial needs to get above $1 by November 22. So we'll see. I'm not sure if this article is quite up to date. It was posted September 4th, so a couple months old. We'll see. So yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, Sundial. All right, so it might get delisted. We'll see though. I'm somewhat confident that we can get above $1. That's the hope at least. And Prog at 471. Great stuff on Prog. Got it at Sundial at 146. Should average down or no point. Says Lilane Gaboda. Tough to say. I mean, if you're already in at 146, it depends on what your risk tolerance is. I mean, 80 cents is looking like it's holding as a support. Obviously, I think Sundial is going to do well over the long term, but we'll see. We'll see what happens if they delist it. I hold some shares here, so even if it becomes an over-the-counter stock, I can still hold shares here. But on Robinhood, I think that might be a different story. So I don't know what would happen to the Robinhood shares. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with Sundial. Hopefully it doesn't get delisted, though. That would be pretty bad, right? A lot of people who have Sundial shares are Robinhood traders. So if it gets down below $1, that would maybe crash the price of the stock if all those shares had to be unloaded. And PROG stock up to 475. Up to 475. That is good stuff. So, Silver says, depends on how much cash you got. You have to have a lot of offset. I like to dip a toe, then leg, then a torso, and bind. Yeah, that's sometimes a good way to do it. That is sometimes a good way. And Sundial making highs almost every bar, right? At 480 now. Prog rather. Prog is doing incredibly well. We're doing really great with Prog stock. I will be right back, guys, real quick. Need to refresh my water. I'll be right back. So just stay tuned and hit the like button while I'm gone. All right, and we are back. Okay, so it looks like Prog has started to take a little bit of a breather. It's moving down a little bit to 467, still very high regarding even where it was 5 minutes ago. It's still much higher. So let's see what's happened in the comment section. So what happens if a stock gets delisted? So if a stock gets delisted, say from the NASDAQ, then that means it's no longer tradable on that exchange. And say you're using a brokerage like Robinhood that only lets you trade stocks on the NASDAQ, then you wouldn't be able to trade Sundial with Robinhood. That's my understanding of it, at least. I think TD Ameritrade, this brokerage, lets me trade over-the-counter stocks as well. So I could still trade Sundial on this brokerage, but not on Robinhood. And unfortunately for unfortunately for Sundial, a lot of the traders who trade it or buy it and invest in it are on Robinhood. So I don't know if they force the sale of the stock or if they just let you hold it and only let you sell. I'm not actually sure what happens. I've never had a stock delisted on me. Typically, I'm not in stock that risky, but with Sundial, it's looking like it might happen. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. I'm hoping that it doesn't actually end up getting delisted. That would probably be very bad for the price, is my guess. Right? So hopefully that's not going to be the case. And Shazad says, thank you very much for your guidance. I really like your analysis or your intelligences. I really appreciate you are helping the community. Have a good day. All right. Well, Shazad, it sounds like I've been a help. So hopefully that's the case. But, remember, never financial advice, but you are welcome, man. You are welcome. So, Dow Donnie. I'm waiting for the Stripe to IPO. Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. And Burke says you can only hold or sell. Yeah, okay. There we go. And Faye says, why does it look like it will get delisted? So we just had the article. Let's see if we can't find it again. Okay, so here's the Forbes article. We need to get rid of this annoying ad. Okay, so let's find it. November 22. Here we go. So stocks that trade on the NASDAQ have to be above $1 typically to avoid being delisted. And they have a while to trade below $1 before they have to get above $1 at some point. So possible NASDAQ delisting. So NASDAQ was threatening to delist Sundial shares unless it was able to regain compliance with the $1 stock price minimum by November 22nd, 2021, according to an SEC filing. So Sundial's got to get up, it sounds like, to above $1 before November. I don't know if this is accurate or if they've extended the deadline. Let me look into that. Let me pull up a new article. So let's see if they've requested an extension. Okay, so no. So it's also possible that instead of doing a delisting, that they could do a reverse split, and this is much more likely that they would do this than actually risk getting delisted. They would up the price of Sundial, right? They would take 2 shares. Every 2 shares that you own, they would turn into 1 share and double the price. So that's the more likely scenario. But it really would be a pity because they are so close. They are so close to $1 that they really should be able to get up above there, and really much more than $1 with all these open interest calls on them on Sundial. They should certainly be able to get above $1 if institutions don't stop them. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it, but we can pull up the short data on Sundial. It doesn't look great. Shorts have been very heavy-handed when shorting Sundial shares. In fact, short interest change is up today. It's up about 3%. Shorts are doing their best to keep Sundial down. So short interest change as of today is up 3%, bringing us to 16.49% short interest as a percentage of the free float and 338.73 million shares. So shorts, day after day, are just shorting Sundial a little bit more, trying to keep him down. So let's see. Silver, ACB hurt me. Pull up the chart of the past 3 years. Yeah, so ACB will pull up. Yeah, the reverse splits typically aren't good. Typically, I don't think of reverse splits as good. 3-year week. Yeah, where did they do that? It looks like right here. Oh, ooh, is this the reverse split? Split, 1 for 12. Or is that a 12 for 1? I think they're giving you 1 and taking 12. So that actually looks like it caused a bit of a bump up in stock price. That's interesting. Or maybe that was a learning experience. So where was it? Was it this one right here, the 12 for 1? That's interesting that they did a 12 for 1 reverse split. That's pretty cool. I've not seen one that big. So I hope they don't do a reverse split. Yeah, I hope they don't either abstract. And what's up, Rob? How's it going? I just saw that. What's up, man? What's up? It's going pretty good with Sundial today, right? We got a nice bounce off of 80 cents. Prog is doing incredibly well. We've just been, if you look at the past 5 days, just been on a straight line up and just turned into a little bit of a curve right here. So I wish there was a drawing tool that I could use, but we've been doing very well on PROG Stock, just moving up and up. We've started an even better trend right there. So Prog is looking pretty good. Prog is looking good. I'm enjoying what's happening with Prog. Get rid of that. And Sundial. Sundial is maintaining its level. So, and just Vignolo, Rob, need your skills. Need opinion on earnings. JMIA. JMIA. Let's see what JMIA is all about. So Jumia Technologies ADR. So foreign company. And let's pull up, first of all, just take a peek at the Ortex. I like to peek at the Ortex every now and then. It might be somewhat heavily shorted. So a little bit of short interest on it. A little bit. We got 9.75% of the free float being shorted, but there are many more shares that people could be shorting. 8 million shares short total. So that's just a brief overview of that. But let's take a peek. Where is Market Watch to figure out what they're all about? Here it is. JMIA. So, $1.83 billion market cap. And they engage in the provision of logistics services, operates through e-commerce platform segment. The e-commerce platform segment consists of marketplace, which connects sellers with consumers to its logistics service, which enables the shipment and delivery of packages from sellers to consumers, and payment service, which facilitates transactions among participants active on platform in select markets. Okay. So it's an e-commerce platform. All right. That's interesting. And let's see what happened with their earnings. So it looks like they got an earnings miss, and they're moving down on the news. What were they expected? So 52-cent estimate. Let's see if we've got some news. Let's see if we can. We'll pull them up on Yahoo Finance. That usually has good news. That'll give us an earnings breakdown, hopefully. Okay. African e-commerce company Jumia's customers jump 8% as losses deepen. All right, so they've got 8% increase in active customers, and their shares slid 7%, now 13%. Active customers reached 7.3 million. The company said a 4% increase from the previous quarter. It has increased investment in marketing campaigns, and Jumia's adjusted loss before interest, tax, and amortization accelerated by 93%. All right, the gross value of orders grew 8% to 238 million. All right. But let's get a better earnings breakdown. I want to see. Here we go. So, here's a nice breakdown of their earnings. 2020 to 2021. I believe for the 3 months ended September 30th. All right, so annual customers increased a decent bit. Orders increased a decent bit. GMV, TPV, blah, blah, blah. Gross profit decreased, actually, though. So that's probably what people are a little upset about. Might have been that they were spending a little bit more money on customer acquisition, so this could be good for them in future quarters. But we'll see. So online marketing, all right. We are increasing our investments in online marketing channels. Yeah, that sounds like they're trying to acquire more customers right now, and they're paying the price for it. They're paying the price because their profits are a little bit lower while they're spending more money on that, but they are acquiring more customers. So good over the long term, it sounds like. And losing a lot, I did not think it was that bad. So yeah, it seems like over the long term, if they can acquire enough customers, then they could become profitable. But I'm not sure if they're going to need to do, let's see, over the past year. So they were up at $69 at one point, and now they're getting closer to where they were about a year ago at 14. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with them. They might find some support around there at 15 or so. We'll see what happens with JMIA. It could be good. It could be good over the long term, though. Right now, it looks like they're just investing a lot into their customer acquisition. So, Abstract says, if Sundial would start buying back those shares, that would be great. That would be great. They may have already, I believe. They may have started buying back some. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, certainly. I mean, maybe Sundial wants to wait for a little bit of a dip themselves. Maybe they want to buy a little bit of a dip on their own shares, right? They don't want to just buy into the hype. They know what they're doing. But we'll see. Yeah, it would be cool if they would start announcing some share buybacks. So Soto says QS is going to the moon today. Is that QuantumScape? Yeah, QuantumScape. It's down 10% on the day, but let's see what happened with it. What's the news? Why is it potentially pumping today? So they achieved final 2021 goal ahead of schedule, and shares move higher on that news, and then it just massive sell-off. So what was their 2021 goal? Released a 10-layer battery cell testing data shows 800 cycles at better than 1 hour charge rates of 25 degrees Celsius, and achieving the goal it had laid out for 2021. So their battery charged quickly enough, and they met their goal. And with this achievement, they have now met all the milestones it laid out at the beginning of the year, and they did it ahead of time, right? They didn't even have to wait until the end of the year. So that's interesting. Interesting to see that they're down on that news, right? It might have been a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of a situation. But who knows? Who knows? QuantumScape could be doing well. Okay, so. And Ramin Perot says they said the buybacks will start November 19th. Nice. That would be awesome, actually, if we could get a nice big Sundial buyback of maybe 100 million shares. All the shares that they could possibly be buying. We'll see if we can get a buyback like that towards the end of the day on the 19th. See if we can't get some of these call options in the money. That could be good. That could be good. I would like to see that. Not sure if they'll do that. So Joseph Agnello, Amazon will buy them, Rob. Oh, JMIA, they might buy that e-commerce. That would not surprise me, actually, if Amazon started sinking their talons into the African e-commerce companies. Wouldn't surprise me at all. And Silver, Ford going up more, or time to take profits? Let's take a peek at Ford. I have a friend who works at Ford. So I think he's been rewarded with stock. Like, I think they gave him stock for working there, but he's certainly been doing well with the Ford stock. Ford has been doing incredibly well over the past year. You look, it went up from $8.43 at the lows. Now it's at $19.65, so about double. So Ford has been doing very well, and we'll see. We'll see what happens with it if it continues doing this well. I mean, it's tough to say, right? All the EV companies, and Ford is now entering more EVs. They're starting to produce more of those and all that. So we'll see if Ford ends up doing well. I mean, it's tough to say. It's tough to pick the top. It's really tough to pick the top, though we are hitting 20, which could be a strong psychological support. Wouldn't surprise me to see a little bit of a dip, though we already did a little bit from 2050 down to lows of 1907. That might be the lowest we get. But, we have been on a big run up with Ford. It looks like their earnings really bumped them up big. Great earnings call. It looked like beat expectations by almost double. So we'll see what happens with Ford. It's tough to say. And let's see. Do you think Prog will continue to climb? Asks Andy. I think it's certainly possible throughout the course of the week, especially, look at this. The 450 calls. The 450 calls on Prog. Let's take a peek at those. We haven't looked at Prog in a couple minutes, but the 450 calls are now in the money as well. Let's see if we can't get the $5 calls in the money too. Let's see if we can't do that. So I could certainly see that happening. Abstract Artemis says that would be awesome. And Sotos Pizzini's, if Rivian is 160, then Lucid will be double by end of year. or Rivian will be half by end of year. You never know. And Zach Taylor says DWAC $60 is the new $50. It certainly looks that way. I'm liking the look of it. It looks like, yeah, we're getting nice bounces off of $60. I certainly like the sound of that. Now, $50, fortunately, 60 might be the new 55 because we never actually got down to 50. But 55 we certainly hit up a couple of times, but I'm liking that 60 is the new support, the new floor for it. So I'm liking the look of the DWAC chart. That is very good. 62.20. So what are we up today? We're up $345. We always sit around 5K profit, at least while we're around $60. So let's see. Silver says, Mark, good earnings tanked them, says Saucy Fredo. Let's take a peek at Mark, see what's going on. Let's take a peek. So Mark, yeah, they did actually start moving down on what looks like really good earnings. I mean, yeah, it's confusing why they're moving down on 72 cents per share earnings when the stock is only $1.53. Yeah, I'm not sure why Mark is moving down. So maybe this is a glitch on the platform. I'm not sure, but it seems like they're making quite a bit in profit. So, and let's see, if they can't compete with cars, be the charging station leader. And PTHT by Prog, LEV is squeezing soon. And Abstract was going to buy Ford at $11 and didn't do it. Darn. Yeah, Ford. I just never got in on Ford. I was looking at Ford way back when I first started, and I just watched it continually. We'll look at the past 3 years. Or even, let's look at the max, right? I just watched it dip and dip and dip for years and years. And then they just all of a sudden started doing incredibly well. Right after the COVID dip tanked them down to 429, they just started doing incredibly well. So I don't know what the heck changed with Ford, but I watched them dip for years and never ended up wanting to get in on them just because I viewed them as a sucker company. For some reason, right, they just kept tanking every year. But, anyone who was holding has been richly rewarded. Even if you were holding back in 2013, you're still up on money now. So good stuff from Ford. And Shazad says, what about SPCE Virgin Galactic? SPCE. Let's see, SPCE. Well, it looks like they're down a little bit today, unfortunately. Not what we want to see on space, but these space companies, they are going to take a bit of time, I think, to really flourish and start becoming hugely profitable. But when they do, they'll certainly be massive industries, right? Space is huge, so there's a lot of real estate out there for them to take people to, and probably a lot of people who are going to want to go off planet and all that. So I think that once they really start making money, it could be very good for them. But it doesn't surprise me to see that over the next couple of years, they're probably just going to be pretty volatile. Maybe not rising all that much until they have some more promising developments. I believe it was Space that actually acquired some customers. That some customers actually agreed to have them take them to space. Maybe it was Blue Origin though. But I've not kept up with these space companies for a while, I will say. So what if Sundial announces a reverse split, says Porta G Driver, of 2 for 1, and then when the share falls down again, they start the buyback, then they get twice the shares back? Maybe. That could be. PTHT, DWAC will squeeze back to 150 by soon. They are exactly like GME. We'll see if that happens. I'm hoping. I'm still holding my DWAC, and it looks like did they touch 63? Yeah, they hit 63.50, and now they're bouncing down a little bit. But, yeah. So what's the high projection potential for Prog? The high for Prog, I mean, geez. Well, we're looking. Let's take a peek at the Prog Ortex and see how many shorts have started covering yet, because if shorts haven't even really covered in a significant way, looks like they haven't. We're down to 0.09% change. Negative 0.09% of shorts have covered. So Prog could still go quite a bit higher. I mean, we're not looking at a massive short covering yet. We're just looking at people buying up Prog stock on the hopes for a gamma squeeze. So let's see what the market cap on Prog is, because I could see this getting to a fairly significant market cap. Probably not above 2 billion, but Maybe. Could. So it's at $778 million right now. I'm not too sure we could get above a $2 billion market cap. That seems pretty steep for Prog. I could see this whole thing playing out. Maybe we get to $10. If everything goes our way, if shorts really start covering their positions and not too many new shorts start coming in. Obviously, that happens a lot of the time. Some shorts will sell out or, buy back the shares while other shorts are selling the shares to them. So shorts will be entering while other shorts are exiting. But there are currently 22.98 million shares short on Prog. So that's pretty significant. And I could see us moving up quite a bit, not just on that, but also on the gamma squeeze, which hasn't necessarily started occurring, right? Maybe some institutions are buying up shares right now in expectation that Prog will be over $4 or over $4.50 now. We'll see if we can get above $5. And after that, $5.50. There's going to be a bit of a gap, though. From $5.50 to $7.50, that's a $2 gap with no new call options becoming in the money because they just haven't offered call options at those strike prices. So $5.50 to $7.50, we'll see if we get lagged out there. But if we can get through that, and the shorts haven't covered that. So Ashtray asks, what's the utilization? 99.9% right there for Prog. So very high utilization. But we could certainly get very high on Prog. I'm very hopeful that we will. It's looking good. A year ago we were at 786, so we'll see what we can do nowadays with all these shorts potentially covering. So it looks like we're nearing highs of day again. If we can just get up to 490, that would do it for us. And Andy asks, why is Prog pumping so much today? Sorry, the yawns are coming back. Prog is pumping mostly on hopes for a gamma squeeze. People are thinking that since there are a bunch of open interest call options that were out of the money recently, institutions have likely sold those call options naked. They're expecting that institutions will have to buy back massive quantities of shares if these call options all become in the money. And it's looking like close to a best case scenario for Prog, right? We did not just put in the 350s today. We put in the $4 and the 450s. So really good stuff. Now, did we actually put in the 350s yesterday? Yeah, so yesterday we closed, and the 350s were out of the money. And now there's the 350 calls, the $4 calls, and the 450 calls all in the money. And Friday is coming, right? That expiration date, people are very worried about. So institutions, I should say, are very worried about it. And DWAC and PHUN today, diamond hand, says Nick Washington. Yep, DWAC, it's looking like it's trending up a little bit, up 4.5% on the day. This is good stuff. And PHUN, we'll take a peek at, up 1.95%, back up above $4. Good to see. Good to see that PHUN is doing well also. And Silver says, coffee break, sleepy? Joe? Yeah, no, I got some coffee. I'm not going to do coffee right now. Don't need any coffee. I'll persevere through. Though we are getting kind of close to when I was planning on ending the stream today. Honestly, I was thinking of ending it around 10:30 just because I do have some other work that I need to get done before 12. So this might actually be the end of the stream. I was yawning just in time. This is looking like this will be it for the day. And what a way to end it. Prog making new highs as we end the stream of 490. Incredible stuff. Sundial has fortunately held above 80 cents, at least where we are now. DWAC on the rise. We're leaving the stream in the perfect way, so let's hope that everything keeps going how it has been. Prog at 496. Let's see if we can break $5 on stream. We'll see if we can break 5. We're getting very close. In the next couple of minutes, if we can do it, then that's good stuff. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. Whew. Water went down the wrong way. Down the wrong pipe. All right. Getting very close to $5 on PROG Stock. Hopefully the mic is still recording and all that, but Shadow Girl says, have a great day, everyone. See you tomorrow, Silver. All right, we are ending the stream now, so hope y'all had a great day. Excuse the coughing at the end of it, but it looks like we're going to end it right here. Hopefully Prog will hit $5 over the next minute or so. But we're ending. Yeah, coffee break, says Stephen Owinski. Yeah, so we'll end it. I had a great time, guys. Hopefully you all did too. Feel free to join us. We do these every day. We do this every day at 9. And Abstract is asking, do you use Streamlabs? And if so, how do you make your camera section a circle? I use OBS. And on OBS, you can input like a shape or something that you want the camera to be in. So Prog just hit $4.99. I will point that out. Prog just hit $4.99. So we're getting close. We're getting close. But other than that, guys, have a great day. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.